Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. This is Tisha Starr with another review for Black History Month. I told you on the post that I needed to make a video to explain how our top 2 restaurants were chosen for Black History Month. Let's get into it. I took a random Facebook post where this woman was looking for a place to host some type of event, and she was looking for a good Black-owned restaurant. So what I did was read every last one of someone else's review to come up with this list. I was fair and true to the list. I wrote down each and every restaurant that made the cut. It was a tie between Tavern on Grange and Truth. Those were the ones that the people spoke the most highly of on this particular Facebook post that had over 50, 60 comments. I take it upon myself to go to Black-owned restaurants all throughout the year because I want to contribute to Black-owned establishments sometimes. And those restaurants, many of these restaurants I did go to already before I even figured that I would make this review. But anyhow, Tavern on Grange and Truth Italian Restaurant, I've been to both and I enjoyed both. But there is a story because actually Tavern on Grange had the most people talking. Even though they got the same amount of strikes as Truth, they had the most conversation going. And I wanted to chime into that conversation because I've had an experience of my own that I want to talk about Tavern on Grange. Okay, let's take it back to my birthday, September the 26th of 2021. My sister, my niece, and my cousin and I, we decided that we were going to try Tavern on Grange. None of us had gone before. Let's go there. It was settled. We picked it. My cousin went online and she made the reservations. And they gave us a reservation. I'm going to give an arbitrary time because right now I don't remember. But I'm going to say 4:30. Let's say 4:30. So she made the reservation through whatever app or, process that they were using. And we made the reservations. We got dressed. We headed to the spot. So when we got there, as we walked through the door, people were kind of looking at us strange. And we noticed that there was no one in there. So we went up to the counter and they're like, oh, but we're not open yet. And we're like, oh, really? Because we had our scheduled time for 4:30. And they were like, no, that can't be right. We're not even open yet. So we showed them the reservation on the phone. We showed them that this was, in fact, our reservation. We reserved a high table. Did we reserve a high table? No. Sorry. We reserved a 4:30 low table. We knew that there was going to be music there that night, but we didn't plan to go to the music. We all planned to be in bed for work the next morning. So we didn't care to see the music for the night. It's basically, I'm just trying to get that part out there. We just wanted to taste the food, test the environment, test the drinks, test the customer service, because that's what I do. And this is why you never know who you're dealing with. And that was that. That's what we were doing. So anyhow, we were instructed to go wait outside. We hung around in the alley with one of their co-workers because my sister, I think she wanted to smoke or something like that. But so we were hanging out in the back. There was one chair right there. There was kind of like I guess maybe that's where the security tells people to not park in, because it's connected to 2 lots, but one lot is not theirs and one lot is theirs. So I guess that person sits there and tells people don't get told if, by parking in the wrong lot. I just made that all into a long, drawn out shit about parking. That's not even what the story is about. Okay, so finally the restaurant opens. We go inside and they give us a table. They give us a high table right next to the kitchen where there was consistent traffic in and out. And so my niece was like, no, I don't want this because we wanted a low table. That's what we reserved. And this has too much traffic and it's going to disturb our ambiance. And so we waited again and then they gave us a table. It was a low table and it was very close to the stage. Waiter, absolutely phenomenal. He was a nice guy. He kept us laughing. He was joking. Smooth. Everything was going smooth, right? The lights are starting to dim. So in all of this time that this was happening, I guess the people that paid for the performance, they were starting to pour in. our waiter came to us and said, I know you guys are not through with your food. I mean, we're like mid-bite, like, excuse me. First of all, I had to send my food back because I wanted it cooked a little bit longer. And so my sister and, the rest of my party, they were eating, but I'm still waiting for my food. And he comes, we're like mid-bite. Well, we're going to have to ask you guys to move because this table was reserved for $500 for the performance tonight. And we're like, okay, that's not necessarily a big problem because it's not. But where do you want us to go? They said in the basement. Well, hold up. 1 second. You want us to pick up our food that we're mid-bite eating, pack it up like a school lunch, get in a single file line and head down to the basement to finish eating our food because somebody reserved that table for $500. Well, our bill at that point was already well over $500. So we asked to speak to the manager. This young guy, he walks up, he's like, yeah, I'm the manager, how can I help you, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, hey, this is what's been going on, and this is the problem. These are some of the issues that we've had. And we just want to know, why do they want to shove us into the basement? Like, we're spending a lot of money. We don't want to sit in the basement. And so the guy was like, well, he was explaining that we have CC Peniston here tonight, and these tables were pre-reserved, and this table was already reserved for $500. And we're like, okay, we understand all that. We're business people. He didn't know this at this time, who we were. And I'm like, we're business people. We're professionals. We get that. We understand. But what we're saying is, someone reserved it for $500. Our bill is already well over $500. The establishment itself has not lost any money, but there is going to be a person that's inconvenienced. And in fact, it was either going to be us that was inconvenienced or the people that pre-purchased that table. So we were explaining to him that we got there at our appointment time and the place was not open and we had to stand in the alley. And he's like, oh, no, that's not true. That's not true. Oh, yeah, it's true. And so they went to pull the video. And I'm like, are you serious? Are people pulling videos about entry time? But whatever. If you got to pull the videos, there's no lies going on here, Pooh. So he went and he pulled the video, blah, blah, blah. And then he's trying to say, then he got a tad bit aggressive. And I'm saying this because, like I said, I want to be truthful and I want to be honest. He got a tad bit aggressive. And we're like, wait, hold on. So I have my cousin who, she's not really the most vocal one. She's not going to do too much talking. She's pretty smooth, go with the flow. You have my sister and my niece. They're kind of like hot-headed and they're going to, get to the point. But they're going to meet the aggression with aggression. And me, they always say, oh, she's the calm one, or she's the one that doesn't, tend to overreact. So let Tish talk. So anyhow, I told the girl, okay, can we back up? So hold on 1 second. I'm not trying to disregard what my sister and niece is saying. And my cousin is just sitting there like, tell them what's going on. And so I was like, hold on 1 second. Let's back it up. First and foremost, we understand your position and we understand what you're saying. We're trying to tell you that when we got here to this establishment, that was the time you guys set into the system. It was incorrect. We had to stand outside and wait in the alley until the restaurant opened. When the restaurant opened, they set us at a table that we did not request. We requested on the reservation a low table. Then once we were seated, no one ever said you have to be from this spot by this particular time because this is going to happen and this table was pre-sold. So we got slapped with this information and didn't even know that that's what the problem was. So I'm telling him, so as a consumer standpoint, you get what I'm saying? Like, we've had all of these issues prior to us, and my food at this point is still not here. And my cousin and my sister, they're mid-bite, but now they're, I don't want to eat. So anyhow, he goes to get the owner. Now, I want to say this because you may or may not see this video. And you may or may not even care about what other people have to say. However, you have a great and wonderful business. A great and wonderful business model. To have live music streamed 7 days a week at a particular restaurant where you can get high-end upscale food, nice ambiance, nice drinks, just a nice place to go and dress up and have a good time, you don't want to ruin that image or that business model or anything that you have going on with big eyes and little U personalities. And that's how I began to feel when he started to speak. You know, like, I'm the owner. This is what's about to go down. And I was taken aback. And my sister and everybody at our table was taken aback. And I don't know if he got the vibe. I don't know. All I could say is that in the end result was positive on our end, because we were able to keep the table. We were able to stay for CeCe Peniston's show, even though we never had any intentions to stay for the show. And we were able to finish and enjoy my meal that came later, because I needed to have it cooked more, because I asked for well done and it came back a little bit not the way that I like it. So I want to say that the night ended up being phenomenal, guys. Do you hear me? We worked it out. The owner told us it was fine, cool, you guys can stay here, whatever. They sent me cake when they found out it was my birthday with fire on it. They pulled me on the stage. My sister got to go on stage and dance with CeCe Peniston. And at this point, they never had any idea of who we were as a people. And I want to say that I agree with the list. Tavern on Grange is an awesome, phenomenal place to go. I feel that you will enjoy yourself. I could feel the presence in the room, because music connects people and it brings people together. And I enjoyed that. However, I did have to tell my truth. So I agree with the list. Tavern on Grange, Truth Italian Restaurant. And there are some more that I'm missing right now that I can't just think of. I agree with them. And I just want to say, the owner, I can't remember your name right now. I really appreciate the fact that you made it right by us. I appreciate the fact that you did give us a fair chance to hear what we had to say. And I appreciate the fact that you took the professional route to allow us to stay at that table, because it would have left a really bitter taste in my mouth had it not gone that way. So if you are coming to Chicago, make sure you go online and pre-register, reserve your tables, because they stay packed. They're not necessarily hard up for any customers. They have them pouring in. But if you want some live music, a nice ambiance in the city of Chicago, and a place to go chill, take your shoes, not even take your shoes off, but kick your feet up and have some nice drinks and some good food, Tavern on Grange, Truth Italian Restaurant made it for Black History Month of two of our top favorite Black-owned restaurants in Chicago.